Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today, we're looking at this. Yes, this is what we're going to look at today. So, from Regina Brewing Inc., I believe, or is it Corp? I can't remember if they call themselves an incorporation or a corporation. Anyway, Regina Brewing in the Warehouse District. This is Oatmeal Stout, 28 IBU, 5.6% alcohol by volume. Now, I just went today and I bought one of everything except for, I think their hazy IPA is the only one I didn't buy one of. Now, Chris, my buddy Chris, and I say my buddy, I know Chris. Chris went to Niagara College at the teaching brewery, and he graduated. He was in one of the project brews where I was there doing some judging with John, and we got talking. We've known each other for a while, off and on, acquaintances type of thing. You know, we chat every once in a while. He's been to a few different breweries, but he ended up back in Regina. He's originally from Regina, went out to Ontario, and now is back in Regina. And he just happens to be the brewmaster at Regina Brewing Company. So I went in today to buy these beers, and I was chatting him up a little bit, and he goes, yeah, we're trying to figure out what we want to do, how we want to make what we want to make as who we are, make our niche, carve out our little niche in the market. So we brewed a whole bunch of different styles, see what works, see what doesn't, see what we keep, see what we move into seasonals. He goes, truthfully, the oatmeal stout should be a seasonal, but I like stouts. You like stouts. If I want you to come, well, he didn't say it, but if you want me to come and drink, you better have a fucking stout. You better have a stout or a porter, and a good one at that. So there is 2 bits of information on this. We will read those and we'll open it up. We'll pour it. We'll smell it. We'll try it. I'll try not to talk too much. Here we have made with local oats. This stout has a nice creamy texture with just a hint of roasted barley and chocolate malt. Ingredients: water, oats, grain, yeast, and hops. Okay, so you guys write grain on all your stuff instead of barley or anything like that. Okay, because the Regina Blonde said grain, and I was like, is this rice? Is this corn? What's it? Anyway, Saskatchewan, the breadbasket of Canada, with 2,400 hours of sunlight each year over rich flatland soil, it's an ideal place to grow field crops. Saskatchewan accounts for over 43% of Canada's cropland and is a world leader in the export of spring wheat, lentils, barley, and oats. Canada's prairie province with an abundance of riches is a great place to make beer and an even better place to enjoy them. Regina Brewing Inc., 102-1377 Hamilton Street, Regina, Saskatchewan. I was going to buy a house rather close to that address when I think about it. I think it was 1500 block. So it would have been about as long of a walk as it is for me to go to Multinational. However, I have been told that is Washington Park, and Washington Park is one of the undesirable areas of Regina. Technically, I'm in one of the semi-undesirable locations, in that I'm in an older section that's very close to the undesirable sections. And when I say very close, I mean my real estate agent, and I love the guy. He did great for me, and he worked with me and everything else. But he was like, you don't want to be in this place, this place, this place. And I'd be like, what about this house? No, that's still in this spot. It's a 7-minute walk from where I'm sitting. So don't tell me. Like, I get what he was saying. He was looking at schools, and he was looking at everything for me. So I really greatly appreciate what he did and how much work he had to do for the little bit of money he would get out of me. And by money he would get out of me, I mean the commission wasn't as good helping me buy this house than he would have gotten if he had spent his time with somebody buying a $400,000 or $500,000 house. But I was fairly easy. First house he went into is the house we ended up buying. Ooh, that didn't sound good. That sounded like it was Otis. Okay, so there is still some beer in here. This is as black as the black blood of the earth. If I get it up to the light, oh no, that is still, yeah, there's like nothing coming through, even at the very edges. Beautiful creamy head. There is a snap, crackle, pop, but it's still just full on cream that is not going away. That is a beautiful looking beer. If you ask me, right, and again, I had the Regina Blonde is the last one we had, and it was so flashy. But like all the other Regina beers I have are like the district beers. It's simple. It's just basically changing color and in this case changing what it says on it, right? So I mean, this is the type of look I personally like more than the flashy different types of cans. I personally like the solid, everything looks the same, but it says what it is, and maybe you change the color pattern and all that. That's what I like about a beer. That's what I want to see. I want to just, be able to know, hey, this is from Regina Brewing, or this is from this, or this is from that, or this is from District. I like District stuff. I'm going to buy that. This is from Regina. I like Chris. I'm going to try this and see if I like it, type of thing, right? I'm really excited when I see that type of stuff. So, I guess we got to get into the sniff. Glass or can first? You know what? I really, really, really hope I really enjoy this. So we'll start with the can. No, we'll start with the glass because the can is usually better. And just in case it's not, it's still better than sniffing it out of the glass for me. So one way or another, it'll be a little bit of a ooh. Okay. You do get that slight touch of roastiness and slight touch of chocolate malt, slight touch of coffee, a little bit of tobacco smoke, little tiny bit of pretty fresh leather, like when you buy a brand new leather jacket. That smells pretty good. It smells pretty good. Now let's see what the can has for me. Oh, that does smell good. And I mean, this is under 6% alcohol, so this could be a session stout. This could be a stout that I'm like, oh yeah, let's do that. Oh, that smells good. Oh, that really smells good. Still got the tiniest amount in there. Okay, out of the can, chocolate, coffee, roastiness, a little bit of burnt bread, little tiny touch of burnt coffee. Cheers. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. First and foremost, flavor is more subdued than the nose. And the nose is not in your face. So the fact that it's a more subdued smell, more subdued taste, is somewhat off-putting, but it's not off-putting in a bad way. It's off-putting in a, I was expecting it to punch me a little bit more. That being said, that's a solid stout that you could drink all night without getting tired of it. And sometimes that's what you want. It's a heavier mouthfeel. Very minimal carbonation going on. Even though you can hear a snap, crackle, pop, it's very minimal carbonation to the extent that it almost comes off almost like one of those hybrid nitrogen beers. And I say hybrid because there are some nitrogen beers that are still carbonated at the same time. And there are some that just have a very minimal amount of nitrogen added to make a creaminess. I'm not saying there's nitrogen in this. I'm saying the mouthfeel is of that sort. It's soft. It's creamy. It's velvety even. It's like I'm licking velour. No, it's not like you're licking velour. Don't lick velour. You don't know where that's been. Yeah, the very minimal carbonation reminds me of drinking a Guinness. And for the most part, if you're drinking a Guinness, you're not drinking Guinness for the flavor, you're drinking Guinness for the experience. And I'm getting almost that experience of drinking Guinness, but with a lot more flavors. I'm getting some chocolate, I'm getting some roastiness, I'm getting some burnt coffee. I'm getting a little bit of that tobacco smoke right at the tops of the palate. I'm getting a little bit of leather. But it's all pretty minute. The biggest flavor in this, other than the chocolate and coffee, is that burnt, like the burnt and tobacco smoke at the back. And it's not like it lasts a long time, but that's the strongest flavor of it all, which makes the beer moreish because you want to get that coffee and chocolate and velvety flavor just to help, velvety mouthfeel, just to help rinse that flavor off for it to come back to make you want to drink another one. Nothing in this is overpowering. There has always been that line, don't be afraid of the dark. This beer is one of those don't be afraid of the dark beers. This is a dark beer that a lot of people could get behind. Fuck, I'm really behind it. Like, I'm really behind this beer. I wish I had bought a 4-pack of this beer. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'm sad I didn't buy a 4-pack of this beer. Thing is, I couldn't afford to buy a 4-pack of this beer even if I wanted to. But I'm sad I didn't buy a 4-pack of this beer. That is an excellent beer. Is it a 9 and up? I don't think Chris will ever watch this, but it's close. It's very close. For me, it's very close to one of those top tier beers. I think this is a beer that I would buy a pint of anytime I walked into Regina Brewing Company. I think this is a beer I could bring a 4-pack home to do my weekly hangouts and stuff with my buddies that are all back in Ontario and stuff like that. I think this is a beer that I could easily see myself having on the regular. If I ever get a kegerator again, I could see this be a beer I had in that kegerator. All that being said, again, I don't know if I would give it a 9 and up, but it's for sure in the 8 to 9 range. I'm going to give it an 8.75 out of 10. I think that is a wonderful stout. I think it's a sessionable stout. I really think it's an experience. There's too many stouts out there that are just poppy. Like they just pop. The carbonation pops. The mouthfeel isn't as nice because you don't get that creaminess. Now, this man is a man that has the Guinness harp tattooed on his arm, so it would make sense that he would want a stout that kind of has the memories, or would kind of set off the memories of drinking a Guinness. And this is kind of like a craft version of Guinness to me, other than the no nitrogen. And I really like it. I really like that low carbonation value. I don't know. I really hope that wasn't like there was something wrong with the can or anything. I really hope that the lower carbonation is normal with this beer, because it makes it come off so creamy and velvety and beautiful. And that's what the stout market needs more of, if you ask me. I mean, most people don't ask me. I'm just a fucking idiot that sits in my basement drinking beer, right? I know nothing. That's why I can't get a job in the industry anymore, because I know nothing. But that's a great beer. That's what I know. I know that's great beer. Thank you, guys. Bye.